Up, everyone? Before we get started, I just wanted to say uh, that I'm trying to reach an ELO of 1,500 by the end of the year. So if you want to join me for that journey, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And now let's get into the video. So in this video, I'm gonna blunder my queen on the third move, but still somehow win. So in this game, I did have 3 missed wins. So if you spot them, make sure to comment down below, like how I could have mated him and when it happened. So my opponent started with e4. I played d5 like I normally do. He takes, and then I take back. Okay, it wasn't move 3 that I blundered it. Here. So you can see I checked. He decided to block like this. There's many different ways to block. There's the bishop and the queen, and then maybe the knight, which might have not been a good idea, which is never a good idea actually. And then I brought out my knight. So my opponent brought out his pawn to pressure the queen, and this is where it happens. I was thinking maybe I can go here, and also I've actually played this multiple times. Like every time I've been in this situation, like many times before, so I was really confident and I was moving pretty quickly. But I mean, I've never actually had this type. No one's actually ever done this before. I don't know why, but I've like 100 times I've done this. I've never seen this position before, and I blundered. And of course, my opponent's gonna take. I'm gonna take back just to get something out of this, and then he's gonna push my knight back. Now my knight can't go to any of these squares, and it's gonna really hurt its movement forward. Then my opponent moves out his knight, I guess, to unblock the bishop. Then I bring out my bishop. I don't know why I really did that. I think I was just trying to develop. Then my opponent moves his pawn forward. So I guess he's really not going to castle on this side. And then I just moved a pawn up to, let my bishop out. Then my opponent started threatening the c7 square, which would have been a fork. I've seen this many times, and I actually think I handled this wrongly. There was actually many ways to do it. I could have done this. I could have developed and allowed my king to castle here with this move. But instead, I did this. I mean, it's not the terrible move, but there were still 2 other moves that were much better, and that I much rather would have preferred. Then my opponent's just going to threaten the bishop. It's going to move back, and this is going to get tricky. I was hoping that he wouldn't come here, but if he did come to this square, I was just thinking of moving here and threatening his castle. And then he's going to now kick my knight, and I brought it out for extra protection at the c7 square. And then he's going to kick it again, and then this is where things get interesting. So instead of just moving the knight away, I decided to try to get some action. His pawn is moved up, so he's not going to be able to block here, and I just wanted to see how we would respond. So you can't move the queen. That would be just dumb. He can move the bishop in and then block, or he can move the king to either of these squares. I mean, he doesn't really want to do that because that would stop him from castling, of course. So he played the predictable move of the bishop. I was kind of counting on this, and I wanted to do something. I think I wanted to bring this here, and normally this would have been a bad move, but I have his bishop pinned with my bishop. So he brought out his queen, so that stops me from being able to take the queen while starting to kind of put pressure on my king and this piece right here. I decided to kind of put pressure on his knight, and I was trying to castle as quickly as possible. I just really wanted to castle in this situation, and Things were going well. I think he played something. I should have expected this, but he did play the knight here. So I took, and I actually was pretty happy. But then I kind of forgot that the only reason why this knight wasn't being captured was because of the bishop I just moved. So I mean, I guess it was an okay trade for me. It unpinned him, which was good for him, and I would still have the option to castle, which I did immediately after because that was a scary situation, and I didn't want to repeat that. I forgot to mention that during all this, I was kind of hoping that my knight would be able to come in for a fork. I did have a bishop set up, and I thought maybe I can get to this square, but it just never happened. So, uh, oh yeah, I just retreated my bishop, and then now my opponent was as threatening, but I mean it wasn't that bad. I kind of got a free pawn out of that, so I don't know why he did that. I guess he was just pushing. Then here, what I did is, I knew that he was trying to get me to go here, and that would leave. Let me just rewind. So if I attack with my pawn here, this would allow him to kind of take the knight. Like watching this back now, I think I should have brought the knight here to block it, but I was trying to kind of I knew he would go here, and I was trying to prevent that from happening. I knew he was gonna like play the bishop move right there. I was kind of hoping he wouldn't. And then he played this move that I knew was coming, so I block. He brings the queen here. Like when I was playing this back, like this was the turning point right here. If you blunder a queen, the only way you're gonna ever get back in this is if your opponent blunders, his queen as well. So I took it, and then this is the turning point. He brings out his bishop to kind of protect here, and then now he's bringing out his castle, and then I brought out my bishop because I knew I was kind of thinking something like this was going to happen, and I didn't want my king to get trapped. So I played the bishop to open up this pawn right here to come out. I didn't want to play either of these pawns because I didn't want this situation where it would kind of open up or something like that. I just wanted to play like that, which was a good thing because when he did play this move, I had a counter that I didn't know I was gonna have. I played this move and I didn't see it until it was actually happening. So and then I guess you just didn't see this because it doesn't look like the moves like this where you're unblocking a piece to threaten it. That people don't normally see that, and that's one of the ways you can disguise what you're trying to do. I was just trying to actually get pieces to this square, and so I end up actually with a free rook. He takes, of course, I take, and then he takes, and then I take, and then now he's attacking this pawn. I have a few options here. I can either come up here, check the king, and threaten this pawn, or maybe take this pawn. But I wanted to protect my pawn, so I just played it up, and allowing this pawn to protect it. Then my opponent started pushing, so I opened up here, was my escape route. And then now I played it, to come here. I was kind of hoping we can get a trade here. I have a bishop here, and a trade would be very beneficial, but he just played like that. And then I was kind of worried about this pawn, so I let this pawn go right here. That might not have been the best idea ever, because I ended up in a kind of awkward situation where my bishop doesn't really know what it's doing. He's just pushing now. And this right here, I thought this was going to be a genius move. He had fallen for this once, and I was hoping he would fall for it again. And then he moved his king back, and I thought he would be even better if I could move here to check him while I'm blocking the bishop for kind of a fork. I don't know if this was on accident or if he was just trying to maybe he was just trying to pressure this, or because I don't think he saw what I was doing. I didn't really want to trade here. I know I said I wanted to trade earlier, but I didn't want to trade here because you have these two pawns here, and I kind of didn't. I kind of wanted my rook alive for that. So then he moved, and I tried, and I'm like, this makes me think he didn't see it earlier because I basically played the same thing again, and he didn't see it. So I take, and then take. He still decided to go for it, even though it was a lost cause. And so he just wasted a few moves there. Then this is where it's kind of turning around. I'm pushing. I bring in this castle, and then I'm just pushing now. And then, oh yeah, and then he resigned, and I end up winning this chess game. If you liked today's video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.